Hola, buenos días. ¿Qué tal? So we're going to continue here with our capítulo 1, talking about different people and families and describing people. And today we're going to look at los adjetivos descriptivos. Los adjetivos descriptivos. These are adjectives we use to describe, to give details about people, places, and things. Okay? So these are adjectives, and so just like any other adjective in Spanish, they have to agree in number and in gender with the nouns that they modify. Okay? In English, usually adjectives come before the words that describe. We say usually the red car, the adjective first, and then the noun. But in Spanish, they usually, most of the time, they follow the words, the nouns. Okay, el coche rojo. First the noun and then the adjective. Most of the time. See. So adjectives in Spanish agree with the nouns they modify in number. They have to be singular or plural, depending on what the noun is, and in gender, masculine or feminine. So, for example, por ejemplo, Carlos es un chico simpático. Okay, Carlos es un chico. Chico is a noun. It's singular and it's masculine. So the adjective also has to be singular and masculine. Okay, simpático. Carlos es un chico simpático. Carlos is a nice boy. Adela is a girl, so chica is singular and feminine, so the adjective also has to be singular and feminine. Adela es una chica simpática. And if we talk about both of them at the same time, Carlos y Adela, that would be the pronoun ellos, right? Ellos son, Carlos y Adela son unos chicos simpáticos. You can say unos chicos, or you can just say Carlos y Adela son chicos simpáticos, okay? So chicos, plural and masculine, and so the adjective also has to be in the same form. Carlos and Adela are nice children or some nice children. ¿Sí? Muy bien. Some a descriptive adjective also can follow the verb ser directly. Okay, we don't have to say Carlos is a smart boy. We can say Carlos is smart. Okay, or Carlos is nice. Carlos es simpático. So the adjective is describing Carlos. Okay, Carlos es simpático. Adela es simpática. Carlos y Adela son simpáticos. ¿Sí? Muy bien. Entonces, las características físicas, la personalidad y otros rasgos. Okay, so some adjectives to describe personality, physical traits, and other things. Entonces, tenemos alto, alta, tall and short. Alto, alta, bajo, baja. Él es alto, ella es alta. Él es bajo, ella es baja. And you already know how to make these adjectives plural. Guapo, handsome, and or good looking and pretty. Él es guapo, ella es guapa. O el hombre es guapo, la mujer es guapa. Muy bien. Delgado, skinny or slender. Delgado, él es delgado, ella es delgada. ¿Ok? Él es delgado, ella es delgada. ¿Sí? Gordo, like here in the mirror, gordo. Gordo means fat. Él es gordo, ella es gorda. The G sounds like G, okay? G, very soft, G. Gordo y gorda, okay? And to make them plural, you are going to add the S at the end. Muy bien. Weak and strong. Débil, fuerte. Débil, fuerte, okay? And these adjectives end, this one ends in an L, and this one ends in an E, so these are, they work in the same form for masculine and feminine, okay? You can say el hombre es débil, la mujer es débil. You're going to use the same form, débil, él es débil, ella es débil. And the same thing happens with fuerte and other adjectives that end in E, like inteligente and pobre also. So adjectives that end in a consonant like débil, joven, mayor, they work for both feminine and masculine. And the ones that end in an E, fuerte, inteligente, pobre, okay? Ella es inteligente, él es inteligente. Inteligente, inteligente, for both. Okay? El hombre es inteligente, la mujer es inteligente. And to make the plural, you add s. Here, since it ends with a consonant, you already know that to make the plural, we have to add es, débiles. Okay, joven, young, and old or older. Joven y mayor. Joven y mayor, okay? Ella es joven, él es mayor, okay? And if the guy was the young one, we would also say él es joven. And if the girl was the older one, we would say ella es mayor. The same form works for both genders. And these end in a consonant, so to make the plural, we're going to say jóvenes y mayores. Okay? Pobre y rico. Poor and rich. Él es pobre, ella es pobre. Él es rico, ella es rica. Okay? Ellos son pobres, ellos son ricos. Bien, and here on the same page you have página 44. You have more terms to talk about personality, okay? And we are going to use the verb ser. Okay, when we talk about personality, we use the verb ser that communicates something that is rather permanent, okay? That it's not going to change, okay? When you're describing rather permanent characteristic of a person or a thing, okay? So, aburrido, aburrida, antipático, buen o antipática, bueno, buena, cómico, cómica, interesante, this one goes with either gender, malo, mala, paciente, perezoso o perezosa, responsable, simpático, tonto o tonta, trabajador, trabajadora, okay? Now, more physical traits, bonito o bonita, feo o fea, grande y pequeño y pequeña. And of course, you already know how to make the plural form of these adjectives. Okay, other useful words that you can use with adjectives is to emphasize an adjective. You can say something is very good or very interesting or very responsible, or a little, okay, un poco, muy en un poco, un poco paciente, un poco cómico, un poco antipático, okay? Do not use the word mucho with adjectives, okay? There's a difference between muy and mucho. Muy, the word muy, is an adverb, okay? The word mucho is an adjective. See? The words that are used to describe adjectives are adverbs. Okay, so when you want to emphasize an adjective, you have to use muy. Muy aburrido, muy antipático, muy bueno, muy cómico, muy interesante. Mucho is an adjective, so you cannot have an adjective modifying another adjective. That doesn't work that way, okay? Adjectives don't modify adjectives. Adjectives modify nouns. So, mucho, when you want to say much, you're going to use it with a noun, with sustantivos, okay? Por ejemplo, muchos hijos. They have a lot of kids. Muchos hijos. Muchas primas. Oops. Muchas primas. O mucho calor, okay? Or mucha gente, many people, see? These are all nouns. Hijos, primas, calor, gente, okay? Nouns. So mucho is going to be used to modify nouns because it's an adjective. Muy is going to be used to modify adjectives because it's an adverb. Okay, so that's the difference between muy and mucho that not many people seem to understand. So, when you want to emphasize an adjective, use muy, muy, okay? Muy aburrido, muy antipático, muy bonito, muy feo, muy grande, muy pequeño, ¿sí? Muy bien, so from now on you have activities in your My Spanish Lab. You're going to have a couple in the e-text activities, and you have two or three in the student activity manual, and a couple of recordings. And the others are for, these here are for if you're going to do recording, hangouts with your partner or partners. And even if you're not, try to practice with these in written form just by yourself, because it's really helpful to do that as well. Okay, you have here some people that you can give a description of. Okay, and you can think of other people too. You can start thinking about how to describe the different members of your family and yourself or friends. Okay, so do the activities, and you also have, I believe, in My Spanish Lab, a nota cultural about how Spanish is such a diverse language. Okay, these are very interesting things to know as well. And tomorrow we're going to start and finish, we'll start the day and finish the week with numbers from 31 to 100. So you're going to know how to work with numbers by the end of this week from 0 to 100. Okay? Muy bien, entonces hasta mañana. Chao.